And here we are for round 3 of me reacting to your setups with resin 3D printing or some FDM printing to see if we can learn something from your mistakes or your really good innovation to solve the problems that can come from trying to 3D print at home. So with that, let's get going. Looking at this first photo, I see a lot of stuff I really like and only one thing that I would change to do better. So let's talk about what I do like and go into what I would probably change. So obviously the first thing, this is a grow tent. We've seen a lot of these things, a really good way to do 3D printing at home, very safe. They've installed a nice little light up here, nice. They got the ventilation there, awesome. One 3D printer, you could probably fit a little bit more in there. Don't know why you don't have 3 more 3D printers. They got their gloves and they got everything in there. Really, really good. And the mask. Now here's the problem. The problem is that the gloves over here and the mask over here are stored inside of this. The reason why this is bad is because there's going to be a lot of fumes, and the VOC filters are actually, the way they work is they absorb fumes over time. So if you're keeping your mask where there's lots of VOCs, that activated carbon is going to absorb it, and you're actually going to massively reduce the life of your filter to a point where your filter's not really going to be working anymore. So you always want to make sure you store your respirators and the filters. The best way to do it, honestly, is like in an airtight bucket that you just kind of store underneath the shelf or something. You can open it up, take it out, and put it on. That way it will last you a really long time. Same with your gloves. It's not as big of a deal with the gloves because it's harder for stuff to get inside, but they could, over time, sitting in there, kind of saturate and pull in some of those things from the resin, or even from the IPA and stuff like that. So when you're putting it on, you're still getting a little bit of that chemical on your hands as it just kind of fully engulfs those gloves over time. Other than that, really good setup. Really like it. All right, this next setup looks like we've got a fan of Fallout 4. I'm also a fan of the Fallout series. We've got some ventilation coming out of the window. Over here on the window, looks like they've done some work to kind of weatherproof it, which is smart. They've still got the fan in there that's kind of just sucking everything out. Really nice. Looks like it could be an AC where it's going to be, hopefully it's not circulating the air, it's actually dumping it outside. Generally, that's how they work. But there's different types like condensers versus humidifiers versus AC. They can all look the same. So I'm not sure what they've got, but I'm assuming it's going to actually be sucking air out. They got their 3D printer here, which is just kind of open to the space with their other printer and the wash and cure. So this space overall, even though there's some air exhausting, it's not going to be the safest because it's still inside of what looks like a normal bedroom. I'm not sure if this bedroom is being used or being occupied often or only when they're in there cleaning. But with these things being open air like this one, it's probably not a space you want to be spending a lot of time on, especially since you got some IPA and some stuff just kind of open. It's going to saturate the air in there. So not the best, but not the worst, far from the worst. Just having some air venting outside is actually going to make this space mostly safe. I'm mostly just saying if you want to go from mostly safe to really safe, I would do a little bit of air containment with the cleaning solutions and the 3D printer. Here's a photo from the other angle. It does look like this space is going to be used more often because that's where the computer is. Looks like he's watching one of our favorite YouTubers there. He's a hoot. I love him. And possibly even go through and painting what is a really big, very beautiful model. So lots of models up here. It's a lot of cool models up there. That's awesome. So yeah, man, my thing on that one would just be, I'd say there's probably a little more air ventilation going on here with the painting station. Really good. I think the only thing I would really say with you is take your 3D printers and your wash station and move them into some grow tents, kind of consolidate them on some other tables, and this space will be, and you will be much healthier for it. All right, the next user here, this is awesome. This is like a fully contained unit with it's like they build your own grow tent. Resin, wash and cure, everything is inside, completely contained. I do see what looks like some air filtration here in the top. Let's get a different view and find out. Oh, that's just the plastic that hangs down. See, that's really smart. I actually do want to install something like this one for me. Right now, I struggle a little bit. I have like a full face mask respirator, but when I'm opening up my IPAs, I can still get a small hint of it, and I don't like that. Putting in that like piece of plastic means your hands can work underneath, but all those fumes are going to go up and they can't come down back into your face. So That's actually very, very smart as long as you have enough room to work. It's not really an issue because, I mean, I don't work with stuff up here in my face. I'm working it down here. So, you know, a piece of glass that comes right here is not going to get in my way, but it's going to offer a lot of protection while you're working. Very, very smart. I remember talking to this user. I think this user actually, they work with hazardous chemicals as like their job. And so they just took what they learned from their job to home. Very smart. Everybody take example of this right here. This looks like that can slide down and completely seal. That's one way to do it. Because even the grow tent, when you open it up, it's completely open. Not a big issue, especially if you vacate it before you unzip it. But this is a way where you can work without the stuff coming in and contaminating the living space. Very smart. All right, the next one here looks like we've got a little closet. The thing I like about these closets is though they may be cheap, they have like a laminate covering, which is like essentially waterproof. It's not vapor proof. Vapor can still get through, but it's gonna do a pretty good job at making sure it's mostly sealed out. But is there a fan? I like the little drawer right here, actually. That's nice. That's kind of fun. Little drawer right here you can keep your stuff in. You can even adjust it up and down to your proper height. It's pretty deep. You can't really tell, but it's actually a pretty deep closet. That's pretty nice. I like that. And close up of the drawer, so the cleaning is happening in the drawer. Okay, or like the scraping off. Not bad. Store it all inside there. All those supports are gonna get stinky after a while though, so I would make sure to throw those away into a trash can. My trash can is a 5-gallon bucket with a lid that seals over it. So when I put stuff in the trash, even after I cure it, I can seal it up while it sits there until I empty it, because I don't want the dirty, smelly trash to fill up the room in between when I empty it. All right, new user. This is inside of an office space. We've got open to the office. I think we had one in the office for the very first episode of this. Same complaint if you saw that one. Office spaces generally do circulate a lot of air, but they're not always completely circulating it outside. Sometimes they just circulate it through the building. Again, this isn't a huge 3D printing space for probably a really large office, so it's most likely going to be just fine. And it's also really hard to vent an office. Generally, their windows don't open. But if you have to 3D print in an office space, what I would actually invest in is I would invest in filtration instead of venting it. It's a lot harder to do filtration because the pellets, they can get saturated pretty quick. So what I would do is I would get a filter that's actually the pellets. You can buy the activated carbon pellets. They're gonna be a lot cheaper and a lot more dense. And I would essentially get a system that vacates the grow tent. I get a big grow tent, and then I would put basically a bucket of pellets, and I would let it print inside and not vent the air during the print. But before I went to unzip that grow tent, I would have a thing I would switch that would run a fan and run that fan internally of the grow tent. That's just going to circulate the air through those pellets. Let that run for like 5-10 minutes, at which point you're going to be filtering out a lot of that VOCs, and then you can open up the grow tent, do your work, close it back up. That's like probably how I would go about it if you're in an office space and you got no other choice and you can't vent outside, just to make it much safer. All right, here we are. It looks like a repurposed kitchen space, maybe, or just an office space. We got tile on the ground, which is great. If any resin spills, it's gonna be really easy to clean up. We got a nice big window here, which is definitely gonna be letting some light in to this poor printer right here. These hoods do an okay job at blocking out UV. They're not 100%. What I would do on this particular printers up here is I would buy there's a protective film you can buy that's for construction. You put it over windows. I put it on my printers to protect the hoods, but it does enable extra UV protection. You might even consider buying that and putting it on the window here. That would make all your light coming into your house more blue colored, but it would block out a lot of the UV light from even coming in the first place, and would do a good job at making sure things just don't have issues over time. What about ventilation? Do we see any ventilation? Let's find out. Another picture, we've got a nice bamboo here. A lot going on. A lot of storage, a lot of space. I like the storage. I like to see the space. Looks like they do have an air filter at the bottom. Now that type of air filter is really good for like dust and pollen, but it's not going to do anything for the VOCs. I know you can even get it with a carbon activated it, but if you look at it, I run something similar to home. If you take out the filter, the carbon activated carbon is just a small sheet. It's mostly designed for like, again, the regular type of VOCs you'd have in your home, not the quantity that we're going to be getting with resin 3D printing. So in this situation, purifying the air isn't adequate. You have to vent. Maybe that's the ventilation going outside. I can't tell. I think that's going outside, but maybe it is. If it is, then that's going to be solving the issue right there. All right, next user. So spray broom with the exhaust for, okay. And ventilated enclosure. Nice. So that works. Just a bucket with a hole in it over a box. And a DIY curing box. That's actually nice. That's actually kind of a fun little curing box. I like how they labeled everything. And then there's the pump down there. Yeah, that would work. I mean, the 3D printer itself isn't contained or anything, but while you're 3D printing, as long as that cover's on, it's actually not really off gas very much. It'd be very, very minimal. I mean, putting in a grow tent would go from minimal to basically nothing. But generally, I think I've said before, the cleaning and when you open that hood up, that's when most of the VOCs are going to be released. So if you can just like ventilate that section out, the rest of it is relatively safe for the most part. Here we are inside of a garage again. We've got, looks like 2 stations here. Looks like there still is some cleaning going on right here that's going to be open and exposed to the air, but probably, I mean, you're in a garage, it's already going to be somewhat drafty. Probably not enough to be an issue, but just make sure you're wearing a mask when you're sitting here doing this. It looks like I got some wash stations down here. Maybe those are full of liquids, maybe they're not. Maybe it's IPA, which IPA itself, breathing in for a long time is dangerous. So just make sure you're wearing a mask when you're there. VOC respirator, not just a normal one. Even if these are contained, again, most of those VOCs are going to be released when you're doing that part of it. So just make sure you're doing that to be safe. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the, okay, so it's the printer, one printer inside with a filter. And the cure station. It still seems like the washing is happening outside of this and the curing and the printing is happening inside. When most of the VOCs are released during washing, not during post-cure, not during the primary cure. However, there's still a lot that are released during those ones, so to have those 2 vented out, really, really good. Nice, like to see it. All right, here we have a different user. Yeah, different user. This user's out in India, so it's going to be kind of a different construction than what you might be used to in the West. They definitely have the fan there blowing outside 24/7. Indian houses are also designed to be very, very ventilated naturally in general, because AC is not always a thing there and it gets hot. So they always just have natural ventilation to begin with. Little Elgu there, nice little bamboo, fun little print. Little work craft table there. Nice little light, that's kind of nice. Is that the same printer? Yeah, same printer, just different angle. Nothing too terrible other than, maybe you want to clean up your environment a little bit. It's a little bit messy and your printer's a little close to the window, but it looks like you're blocking out all the light, so not really an issue. So probably best that's close to the window then, so the VOCs get sucked right out. I don't know where, it looks like your cleaning's happening right next to it. So just make sure you're wearing a mask while you're cleaning. And it should be fine. All right, next person, up in an upstairs, like a loft area by the look of it. They've got a window there that's open, right up there. That's gonna do a good job of getting all those VOCs out, but it's also gonna let in some light, so this little printer right here could get exposed, and the cleaning station right here could get exposed, but probably not. It's probably not enough to cause the resin to cure while you're working with it. I imagine if it was an issue, you would have noticed by now and corrected it. I like this nice big printer with I've got that printer as well. Sometimes it's a pain to use. Sometimes it works. I do want to point out that even though this user has hardwood floors, look, they put down the plastic mats. Nice. First one I've seen where they've done that, even on hardwood floors. I still always recommend it, especially if you have carpet. Those mats are not very expensive and they're going to save you some trouble. You're going to spill, you're going to drip. It's going to happen. So just better safe than sorry, All right, we got another user here. Looks like they're painting. This is a fun little thing. I like this. This is some awesome paint job there. Whoever you are, I really like your paint work. You got a nice little grow tent there with air ventilation going right out. Your wash station, you've got some plastic over it. I don't know if you need the plastic wrap over it, but I'm not sure what's going on. It looks like this has got a bunch of little bumps in it, like it's for like a storage or something. So they sell those things with a flat bottom. You're probably aware of this, but those bumps probably suck. I just get yourself like a lunch tray instead. Looks like you got some big mats here for doing like cutting work. Those mats actually work okay. I've tried it myself. They clean up pretty well. Of course, silicone's going to do better. They sell big silicone dog mats, you could think about doing that if you ever wanted to get one to cover the entire table. And that way you could use a smaller plastic tray that's gonna be easier to clean up. Like a lunch tray, works really, really well. That's the only thing I think I would recommend out of this situation. Other than that, I think you're doing great. Same house, this is their painting setup. That's a really nice painting setup. That's some good lighting there while they're working. You can't have enough light while you're working. It's a fun little painting area. Lots of paints. I always see that, like, it's like a thing I always see with people with, I don't have a painting area, and I just always see it's just like, it's like an organ of just paints, you know? Like, and to me, it looks just as complicated and crazy as like looking at someone who knows how to play an organ. I don't know how to do any of that, but it's awesome. All right, and I think that covers it for that one. So hopefully you learned something new on how to take resin 3D printing, or in some cases FDM printing, into your home and do it safely. There's a lot of creative inspirations here you can use to do it the right way, as well as some decent examples of probably how to do it the wrong way. So just make sure you're doing it the right way and not the wrong way. That way you will be safe for 3D printing at home for the foreseeable future. And as always, if you could, please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join us on our Lychee Slicer Discord if you have any questions at all, share this video with a friend who you think probably needs it. And as always, thank you for watching and have a good day.